Ups, downs, politics, and sex noises. I've got your Australian Open 2018 recap. Welcome to Open Stance. I'm your host and tennis coach, Kirby Bridges. You heard me right, sex noises. Oh, yeah! But I'll explain that later. First, let's get into the standout stories of the tournament. We're gonna kick things off by talking about the winners of this year's Australian Open, and it starts with Roger Federer, who won his 20th Grand Slam, defeating Marin Cilic in 5 sets and breaking his own record when it comes to titles, as well as emotional speeches. I'm not crying, you're crying. Which begs the question, is Roger gonna become a meme a la crying Michael Jordan? I sure hope so. In his speech, he told us, the fairy tale continues for us. For me, and after the great year I had last year, it's incredible. To put it in perspective, he has now won 10% of all major titles since the start of the Open era began 50 years ago. What a fairy tale it's been. In the women's draw, Caroline Wozniacki outlasted Simona Halep in a tense final, winning 7-6, 3-6, 6-4. Neither woman had ever won a slam before, and to put even more pressure on the match, the outcome determined which woman would walk away the world #1. Their match is being touted as one of the best Australian Open finals in the Open era. So all around, fans were spoiled this tournament. But we don't mind, keep it up, ladies. So those are the winners of the tournament. Now for the biggest losers. And in tennis, if you're not first, you're last. So there were a lot of them. Starting off with Tennis Sandgren. He's got the name and the game to be the newest heartwarming breakthrough, but his Twitter betrayed him. And when I say his Twitter betrayed him, what I really mean is that he betrayed himself. Tennis had wins against Wawrinka and Thiem this tournament, a tremendous feat for a new face on the scene. But as a new face, the media went to find more information on him through his social media channels, only to find racist, sexist, and homophobic tweets. When asked about it, he responded in his press conference with a personal statement after scrubbing his Twitter of all content. And he later apologized for his homophobic tweet. The good news for him, though, is that since his Australian Open success, his ranking has skyrocketed. So he'll be receiving bids into most tournaments for the foreseeable future. He won't be able to make another first impression on us, but he certainly can continue making a better one. So Tennis Sandgren actually had the best tournament amongst the American men. 6 out of 12 Americans dropped out in the first round, while 14 out of 18 American women were out in the first round. Ouch. That included US Open winner Sloane Stephens and US Open semifinalist Venus Williams and COCO VANDEWEGHE. Now the standout of the group was the other US Open semifinalist Madison Keys, who made it to the quarters this time. And now for the next segment, which I like to call A Star is Born. Now as a coach, my personal favorite part of any tournament is seeing what up-and-coming talent is breaking through. In this year's first slam, Hyun Chung had an outstanding run, defeating both Zverev brothers, Novak Djokovic, and Tennis Sandgren before retiring in the semifinals against Roger Federer because of what he called a mega blister. Ugh. It was an anticlimactic finish, but we'll be watching his game a little more closely for the rest of the year. Now, other breakout stars included Kyle Edmund, who showed a new level of professionalism, ELISE Mertens, a 22-year-old Belgian who made it to the semifinals, Marta Kostyuk, a 15-year-old Ukrainian who made it through 5 qualifying matches and 3 rounds, only following to 4th seed Alina Svitolina, Lauren Davis, who lost 15-13 in the 3rd to Simona Halep in an incredible match, and Sebastian KORDA, the son of 1998 Australian Open champion Peter KORDA, who won the boys' championship. Now, besides that, let's take a look at the walking wounded. We've got Djokovic, Wawrinka, Murray, and Nadal all rounding out the list. They're all mending their injured selves. So perhaps even more Fed titles are on their way, tennis fam. So finally, as promised, the sex noises. So here's the scoop. an obnoxious YouTuber named Jamie Zhu, known for his pranks and outlandish behavior, made his way up to the front row of Nick Kyrgios' second round match and started moaning. You know what I mean? I mean, he really sounds more like a dying goat than anything else, but still. He posted on his social media that this was the greatest thing he's ever done in his life, which is just sad, frankly, especially because his video's been taken down because you can't shoot video of matches, people. No! Just an overall pathetic attempt at garnering fame, and I am so embarrassed for him. Now, there's one more thing I want to say after our last Open Stance episode, and that is that you were right, dear ET fam, I messed up. You guys hit me up in the comments and let me know that Angie Kerber was going to make a run at this tournament and that I had neglected to mention her. And I'm here to say that I read your comments, each and every one of them, and you were right, and I give you credit. So I want to know your thoughts on this year's Australian Open, and of course, if there's anything I neglected to mention. So comment, like, and subscribe, ET fam, and I will see you in the next Open Stance.